everybody, Kayman Coons here.
Owen Ziegler here.
Alright, we're going to be starting our podcast, and later on we'll be reviewing the movie Scream by Wes Craven. Super excited to talk about that.
Oh boy, do we have a lot to say about this film.
Super excited about it. Before we get to that though, we're going to do our usual topics and get involved in all the things going on this past week. First, right off the list, Pokemon Go. Yeah, Pokemon Go. Oh my god.
Wow, that's some stuff. That's some stuff.
You know, and of course
You know what Nintendo did? You know what they just did? If this is as good, because you know, there's this whole like, is it going to be that good kind of thing? But like, if this is good, if this is as good as they're promising it, if it's like they're hyping it up to be, they just made the whole world an MMO.
Yeah.
Like real life, an MMO on your phone.
Absolutely.
That is amazing.
Hopefully that's what happens. I mean, you know,
that is such a good idea.
And
it's the way that they're doing that.
Oh yeah, I'm super stoked for this. If this is anything the way it looks like what we saw from the trailer, it's going to be great. It's going to be super great. However, we have been let down before. There was the Pokemon Google event that happened last year.
I couldn't get that to even work.
Yeah, a lot of people were having trouble with it. But you know, and if
you know what that might have been? That might have been beta.
Yes, I absolutely believe that was their first venture into the system.
They were just like, that's totally not a thing. This is just a one-time... No, it's just a fucking thing now.
Well, and you know, with augmented reality becoming a future of gaming, and us having, you know, glasses and
the Morpheus, you got the Oculus
Rift, you
know, whatever Samsung is doing.
I mean, we saw the Minecraft demonstration at E3. I don't know if you got to see that.
Oh yeah, with the I can't remember for the life of me what that's called. Is it Smart Glass? No, that's not Smart Glass. It's something else.
It's the Xbox's version.
Yeah, it's like the Xbox's version of Smart Glass, but it's like, it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it looks like it works pretty well, unless that was like unless that was like not super choreographed
or pre-rendered out.
Yeah,
hopefully not. But either way, I mean, you know, it looks like that's where the future is moving towards for gaming.
The way of the future.
The way of the future. And I hope so. You know, I would love to be running around, and what a great future for gaming to hold.
Yeah, get your friends together, go catch some Pokemon.
And you know, at the end of that trailer, we saw Mewtwo.
Yeah, let's fight. Everyone fight Mewtwo now
in Times Square. So cool. A raid special, because Pokemon.
That's so cool.
Oh, so cool. Pokemon is known for their special events. They're known for that. You know?
Yeah, they love that stuff,
and I love it too. I think that's fantastic. I mean, Pokemon Omega Ruby and of course X and Y and dating back to Diamond and Pearl when they first started doing special events. You know, they'd be like, "Hey, come to your local GameStop and download the shiny blah blah blah," and you're like, "I want to do that. That sounds awesome." And incorporating that in Pokemon Go is going to be perfect in every way, and getting people to get out and go explore and see the world a little.
If Pokemon was going to be an MMO, I'm so glad they did it like this. Incorporating actually going out and doing shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're just out camping with your family or your friends or something. Just turn on your app. Go catch some Pokemon. Why not? While you're hiking with your friends, go catch some Pokemon.
It's awesome.
You're climbing Mount Everest. Go catch Pokemon on Mount. There's like a legend. If they put like a legendary on top,
if they put Articuno
on top of Mount Everest,
I will be so happy.
I'd be so happy. If
I'd have to go to Mount Everest
like
to get
a level 100 Articuno. Like they put Articuno like some other places, but like the best one,
the shiny level 100 Articuno. Top of Mount Everest, guys.
Can only be found.
Pokemon Co. Make that happen.
Make a whole like documentary about going up there.
I'll fucking buy it
just to get Articuno.
Absolutely.
Oh man, that'd be sick. I'd watch that.
Oh hell yeah! So next on our topic list, super excited for this film coming out. It's coming out October 2nd, so pretty close. Is The Martian, and we recently got a little teaser with it with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I love that video
so good.
for one particular reason, not just because it's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
which I love that guy, and he's super cool. He's got kind of like a Bill Nye. Like if Bill Nye was less Disney, he'd be what I would consider like Neil deGrasse Tyson, like kind of making science fun in a way, making science cinematic is what he does.
And if you remember Cosmos, the show that he's now doing.
Yeah, I love Cosmos.
Was initially done by Carl Sagan, and Carl Sagan had talked to Neil whenever he was younger. And in the first episode of Cosmos, they talk about the connection between Neil deGrasse Tyson and Carl Sagan. And in his little journal, he had wrote, like a day to come see him and stuff. And he went out in like snow and craziness, and he met Carl Sagan that day, and they actually had a conversation and talked. And it was an astrophysicist talking.
That's a meeting of the minds.
Yeah, meeting of the minds, and it's one of those things where if there was anyone to take up the mantle, I couldn't think of anyone better than Neil deGrasse Tyson, because on the side of that, he's been doing Star Talk for years now. And I'm a huge fan of Star Talk. It's a podcast I religiously follow. If you haven't checked out Star Talk, I strongly suggest
listen to this podcast first.
Finish our podcast
and
first.
Then
and then
go check out Neil deGrasse Tyson, because we would like... Yeah, we gotta...
we gotta keep our fans.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
Either way, he's a great guy, great host. And so what he does with what he brings to The Martian, which is based off the novel The Martian, is he brings this kind of introduction to the setting, because it's reality on some way. Like the technology seems to be something that's not too far out of our grasp, and that's what the story tries to do.
We could do that in my lifetime.
Exactly.
In our lifetime, we could do that.
And it sells it with him presenting...
I love that it's a promo in the universe of the movie that Neil deGrasse Tyson is doing.
Exactly.
In the universe of the movie, they got Neil deGrasse Tyson to do a promo thing for the ship that's going into space.
Absolutely. And honestly, in general, I'm just really excited for this film. I mean, as far as it goes, it has a pretty good cast. I mean, Matt Damon leading cruise ship, nothing bad there. He's not terrible by any means.
Matt Damon,
you have Donald Glover in it.
Kate Mara.
Yeah. And
love Kate Mara.
The guy from Ant-Man, I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing one of the astronauts.
He's getting in there. He's getting in like bigger and bigger movies.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
super cool.
Quite a few people in this
Jessica
film.
Chastain is also in this, from Zero Dark 30 fame.
Yeah. In the movie in general.
And Interstellar fame.
Yeah, Interstellar fame.
Which is this movie's this movie is like the love child of Interstellar and Gravity.
See, I haven't seen Interstellar yet. I can see where you're coming from now.
Interstellar is like if Inception was revolved around
space
logic instead of dream logic.
That makes sense.
This is like Inception has to do with made up logic, which is why I like it better. Yeah, because you can just make up whatever you want. Because this is dreams. No one knows how dreams work. So you can just make up these rules for dreams, and people go like, okay, that's fine. But in Interstellar, it's like you have these tight rules to follow. And it follows it, but it's like sometimes it becomes a slave to the rules a little bit, and it makes it like I'm watching Cosmos right now. Like I might as well just be watching Cosmos in a few scenes. Yeah, and Matthew McConaughey sells it. A lot of the actors really sell it, but I just like Inception. I just like made up logic more than restricting yourself to actual logic, which is harder to do. Because this is real stuff that you don't want to, having Neil deGrasse Tyson endorse your film and being like, yeah, this is how that would probably work. Yeah. That's super huge.
It's super huge. And on top of that, that's what makes the story shine, in my opinion, is you have a movie that is we know people understand that it's difficult to get to Mars, but we're gonna really tell a story about it to make people fully feel the difficulty of not just getting to Mars, but being left on Mars. And there's that line where he's like, "Hey, I have to make 4 years worth of food in a couple of days, or I'm gonna die. This is important." Yeah. And on a planet that doesn't cultivate anything, it truly is someone pioneering a settlement by himself on a different planet. And to me, that alone, I'm willing to sit there.
We have the science of Interstellar combined with the principal kind of stranded story of Gravity, which is
I'd say more realistic Interstellar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you got quite a lot of stuff going on here. I mean,
more realistic Gravity, because it's you have more because there's so many moments in Gravity where it's she's latching on to for one thing, it's people are talking about the science of how she's using her jetpack to change elevations and how that wouldn't work. Yeah, and
there's quite a few things about Gravity.
She's holding on to this latch, and she opens the latch, and it flies open, which is of course how that would happen. But it's you would have flown off of that latch, I don't know how you're still hanging on to that. Like,
And there
are so many moments in that movie where she should have died, but didn't.
Yeah, especially because her character should have known those things as well.
Yeah, that's also
She should have been well prepared.
I still very much like that movie.
Still a good movie.
But I like it as fiction.
Yeah.
I do not buy the science, the quote-unquote science behind that.
See, and that's what I'm excited about Martian. I think it's going to test that, and I think it's going to push that boundary of what we see as a fictional story.
Yeah.
So either way, I think I'm really excited to check it out. Next on the list, a personal favorite of mine is Kingdom Hearts, the series, and they got a game coming out called Kingdom Hearts 2.9, and here's my thing, right? I own 2.5 and I own 1.5, which...
Kayman's gonna take it from here
yeah.
because I am uncultured in the realm of Kingdom Hearts. The only game that I've played and not completed is Chain of Memories on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
And honestly, I just don't get it. I just don't get, like, because the marriage of Final Fantasy and Disney is not far-fetched. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Because you have the whole, like, because the themes are very similar. You got the whole believe in yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
You got the
light over darkness.
Yeah, light over darkness. The family aspect also plays a lot into Final Fantasy and Disney. And just seeing Disney characters kick ass in this fantasy realm is just super cool.
Yep.
And seeing them work in different things like Nightmare Before Christmas and Tarzan and Aladdin and just... I love seeing that stuff.
Yeah.
But the story surrounding that just makes no sense.
Here's what I'll tell you.
But that's probably because I've only played Chain of Memories.
Exactly.
I am fully acknowledging that.
Absolutely.
In the sense that I am a newcomer and there's probably, like, there's games that explain it. But that's also another thing, is that, like, games shouldn't have, like, prerequisite homework, you know?
Well,
stuff like that, where it's like, I get that you're doing, like, a series, and you should probably play the other games first, if you want to play the games in a series. But, like, even in Kingdom Hearts 1, I've heard from people that it makes no sense. And then there's, like, one game...
Not completely true.
There's, like... It was you who told me this.
No. One makes sense. Let me explain this. The overall story of the series doesn't make sense when you play 1 because it deliberately leaves out things, and it's like, hey, like, you're not going to get this yet. And 2 will explain some of those things. Chain of Memories will explain some of those things. Birth by Sleep explains a lot of those things. But let me tell you,
there's certain games that you have to play to get the full story.
Well, but let me explain.
And there's certain things you're not going to get if you can't get those games.
But the story of 1 makes sense. The story of 1 makes tons of sense. And the story of 2 does as well. Following Sora and Riku and Kairi in 1 makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Following Sora and Riku and Kairi in 2 and Roxas makes a ton of sense. But the villain and his big plan and the overall, like, how am I going to defeat Light? That is what's in play. And that's what you're not told about in the 7 Princesses and all that and what Disney has to do with it. That's the secret. That's under all the stuff that you're going to figure out. But that's not... barring the story.
So I misinterpreted.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. Because put the story aside for a second. This is why Kingdom Hearts is a great, phenomenal game series. Because every game is a different game with different mechanics and amazing and interesting, complex ways to play it. If you played Chain of Memories, you remember it was a card-based system. And if you didn't initially get too far into it, the more you get into it, the more complex it is.
Oh, yeah, I got pretty far into it.
Yeah, and it's very interesting.
I got to, like... I was at least, like, 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah. And what's great about it is it's always changing. So here's the thing.
I got stuck on a boss that was absolutely impossible for my
10-year-old.
For my 10-year-old mind to comprehend. I was like, this is impossible. But I didn't understand, like, the whole combining cards mechanic and stuff because I was 10 and I was dumb. But
I strongly suggest playing it again and learning it, at least any of them.
Oh yeah,
but the bosses.
I tried, but I didn't get that much far into it. I stopped for whatever reason.
The bosses are famously extremely a lot of times, and that's awesome. But here's the thing. So 2.5 and 1.5 were released for the PS3, and in 1.5 you got 3 games for the price of 1. And they were all redid HD versions of themselves. You have Kingdom Hearts 1, you have all the cutscenes at 350.5 days, and then you have Chain of Memories as well on console. And then 2.5, you get Kingdom Hearts 2 redone sound, redone everything. You get new scenes, you get new costumes, all sorts of new fun, super awesome stuff, and Final Mix, new bosses that you haven't fought. In both games, you get new bosses that were never released in America. So you can see why a diehard fan would buy 1.5 and 2.5. Also, 2.5 had Birth by Sleep on console, which was initially on a handheld, and then you have all the scenes from...
Isn't there another one on 3DS?
There is 358.5 Days, which is on the regular DS, and then there is Dream Drop, which is on the 3DS, but Birth by Sleep is on the PSP. In fact, Kingdom Hearts is one of the very few franchises that expands across consoles. It goes from Nintendo to Sony, and will now be marking on to Xbox as well, with Kingdom Hearts 3 debuting on an Xbox title. But 2.9 is going to be on a next-gen console, and this is where I can be like, okay, no, I'm like a little done. Because 2.9 makes me go, well, what the hell is the 0.01 difference between 2.9 and Kingdom Hearts 3? We've been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 for years now, almost like around about like a decade or so. Like, it's been a long freaking time.
Long ass time.
And it makes you go, well, Jesus, like, what the hell is 2.9 having that 3? And it's one of those things where the reason I'm talking about it on the podcast is...
It's more ludicrous than the gap between Assassin's Creed 2 and 3.
Agreed.
Because that was pretty ludicrous.
That was absolutely ludicrous.
But, like...
Granted, Brotherhood,
pretty huge.
I would say Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is probably one of the best Assassin's Creed games to be released besides 2. Brotherhood was really good.
I really liked 1.
One was great.
It was very tight. It was very focused. It was
complex. It was advanced. You felt like you had to learn a lot to get to the end. Like, no, one was
and
great.
the Animus twist wasn't bad in 1.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
Like, the Animus got super old after that.
Yeah.
Like, 2, it was still kind of cool because you got deeper into it and you got introduced to more characters and the stakes were heightened in the whole Animus stuff.
And Ezio Auditore is an awesome character to follow.
Ezio's way cooler. He's way cooler than Altair and Connor. Fuck Connor.
Yeah, fuck Connor.
We'll get into that later because of a topic that we have later.
Yeah, later.
Because fuck Connor and fuck this other character that's like him.
Yeah. But either way, 2.9 will be coming out. It'll be on next-gen consoles. And I'm excited to see what they do, and I'm still going to buy it. But at the same time, it is definitely one of those, like, wow, they really are doing this.
I want to get into these games.
I really
want to.
So.
I don't know if I have time. But, like, because I don't know if I have the hours in the day to really, like, devote myself to something like this. Like, this huge.
Oh, yeah. The RPG element and the game mechanics alone are worth playing Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you don't get into the story, just the game mechanics alone are worth getting into.
Well, I'm not sure, but I've heard from a lot of people.
So moving on to our next topic, we got Krampus.
Krampus, I'm super into it.
Super, super, super excited for this film for a lot of reasons. I'm going to give the main reason I'm excited for this film.
Trick or Treat director.
Trick or Treat director. Trick or Treat is an amazing film. Watch it this October, guys. It's a great Halloween film. And this is a director and writer who...
He takes advantage of creepy stuff about
old,
holidays.
Ancient pagan holidays. Yep. Samhain was what's referred to in Halloween, and he talks about it in Trick or Treat continuously. And it's so cool because you get to really get into the old Halloween traditions. Yeah. And it looks like we're going to get into that with this new Krampus film, and it's so good to seeing someone who did a movie like Trick or Treat progressing forward into cinema. And
I want to see like St. Patrick's Day in the future or something. Yeah. There's probably some stuff with St. Patrick's Day or Valentine's Day. That's probably a wealth of stuff.
For sure.
For Valentine's Day, like myths and whatnot.
There's a ton, and we have quite a good cast here. Ben, not his name isn't Ben White. His name's Alan something. But he was from Parks and Rec. He plays Parks and Rec.
The Margie from the Fargo TV series is in this. Like the Margie-esque character in that.
And
I like her. I didn't like Fargo the TV series.
Yeah.
Because it's Fargo the TV series. If it was anything else, if it was not named Fargo for fuck's sake,
right.
They're using that as
to get people.
To just get people. If it was just its own thing.
Yeah, then it would
have been fine.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it still wouldn't have been like, better than True Detective Season 1, which came out around the same time, and Fargo won the Golden Globe over True Detective Season 1, and I got super pissed about that, because True Detective Season 1, damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Damn near perfect. I stayed up super late, like later than I have, like, anything else, watching True Detective Season 1, because I had to finish it. Yeah. I had to know who the Yellow King was. I had to know where this was going. I wanted to see how deep McConaughey's and Harrelson's relationship was going to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that, and it definitely satisfied me. The conclusion super delivered.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and I loved finding out who the Yellow King was. I loved how their relationship ended. It was just fantastic. But like Fargo was just, it was just so underwhelming. Like here's the only reason you should ever watch Fargo is because of Billy Bob Thornton and because of Martin Freeman, because they kill it.
That's about accurate.
Because they absolutely kill it.
Billy Bob Thornton is a star.
Colin Hanks isn't bad either. He's pretty likable as well. Tom Hanks' son. Mm-hmm. And the Margie-esque character, also not bad as well. It's just, their storyline is very predictable because it's literally the movie.
Yeah.
It's just literally the movie. And there's a few things about, like, they break a few laws and nobody fucking addresses it.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, you just broke a law, and it's like, oh, people just go, oh, it's fine.
Either way, the actress should be perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, and I like that she's
Krampus.
in this.
Yeah. Oh, in general, this is a movie to look out for. Krampus.
Back to Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus.
Or Krampus.
It's definitely a movie to look out for. It follows a holiday that takes place on December 5th, where people leave boots outside of their houses. And if you get candy in your boot, you've been good. If you get sticks in your boot, you're supposed to swack yourself with it. And then Krampus comes and he will take children to the underworld. And that's kind of his thing that he does. He puts them in a sack. He throws kids in a sack. Yeah, right?
He will fuck you up
Horned beast with, just really good imagery here.
Oh yeah, I love horns. That's another thing that True Detective understood is horns are scary.
Horns are scary.
Put horns on something. Like, Pikachu's super cute. Put horns on that motherfucker. Oh, yeah. I'm scared.
Oh, yeah.
I'm scared of Pikachu now, because you put horns on him. Horns are evil. Absolutely. Everything with horns in darkness is evil.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But definitely a movie to get excited to check out for. This next thing to talk about, I'm super excited for as well. Jessica Jones.
My girl, Jessica.
This is going to be, after Daredevil, I am a little worried. So before I get into what I'm about to say, Jessica Jones has an hour release date, has a trailer as well. Nothing too crazy seen in the trailer. Avengers Tower hidden in the trailer though, which is really cool.
Very good art style in the trailer as well.
Super cool. The release date for it is 11/20/15, which is 2 months from now. I'm super excited for that. But I have to say this. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried because Daredevil was so good.
Yeah, how are they going to follow that?
How are you going to follow Daredevil? I'm excited no matter what. Because
I want him to show up at least once. I don't know if they're going to do that. I want at least Matt, or Foggy, or somebody to show up at least once.
Hopefully.
You're a private investigator. Of course you would interact with lawyers.
Yeah.
And if, like Nelson and Murdoch, they're up-and-comers, you know.
Hopefully, I'd love to see that. It's going to be a really tough thing to follow, but
Luke Cage is in this anyway.
Yeah.
Like, he's a primary character because of, the relationship between him, the romance between him and Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
You gotta have that.
I think it's gonna be interesting because what they did with the art style, they didn't show us too much. Kind of like when we saw our first Daredevil trailer, we didn't get a lot then either.
Yeah.
We got like little tidbits. We still only got little tidbits of this, which makes me wonder why we haven't seen any set pictures. No,
I've seen a picture of Tennant on set.
Yeah, I haven't seen a picture of her though. I haven't seen a picture.
I've seen a picture of her.
Oh, really? Okay,
I've seen a picture of her and Luke Cage.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's like after he was set on fire or something.
God. Cool.
I'm pretty sure it was him. There was a dude who was set on fire. I'm pretty sure it's him because his skin is indestructible.
Yeah.
And he's fine. And he's like on the ground as if like he was just dealing with something like being on fire. And she's like holding him like, oh my god, what happened?
Yeah.
And it looks cool. And it's like, that's obviously they're setting up the romantic plot line with that. And Tennant looks like Tennant.
Yeah.
And that's what I want because I like Tennant.
Yeah, never a bad thing. Never a bad thing.
Because David Tennant is I'm super into seeing him as the villain.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've ever seen him play villain before. Has he? I'm pretty sure he has, but I don't think I've seen it if he has.
Yeah.
He's played Dirtbag before in Fright Night, the Fright Night remake, which was actually surprisingly good.
I didn't see too much of it. I saw his scenes, but I didn't see too much else of it.
He was really good in that.
I'll have to check it out. Either way, it's something to look forward to. When it comes out, we will definitely be talking about it.
Oh yeah, I'm super excited for this
because it's
I'm just worried because I'm super excited that they got female head writer.
Yep.
The thing that I'm worried about that though is that she was involved with the Twilight movies.
Ooh, that's a rough one. That's a rough one. That's hard to swallow.
Just like there were other people that were involved with the Twilight movies as well.
Yeah.
Like Chris Weitz, who's not a bad writer, and who's also writing Rogue One, was involved with Twilight New Moon.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is Twilight just like a black hole of creative talent? Like everybody who just works on that just becomes like devoid of any creativity and like
hopefully not,
or sense of storytelling. Just like, I hope that's the reason.
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm super into the fact that like, and I have to give. I think I've mentioned this before, but regardless of whether or not I like Arrow or I like Walking Dead, they hire female writers.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely
That's fantastic. We need more of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because there's like a surprising, there's like a scarcity of that.
Yeah, there really is.
And there's a lot of talent there.
Huge.
Our last movie that we reviewed, In a World,
by Bell.
Yeah, Lake Bell.
Yeah.
Written and directed
really good.
by a woman. Best Picture of the Year, 2009, I believe. Hurt Locker, directed by a woman.
Yeah.
Catherine Bigelow. Freaking talented. Just, you know, the lack of a female director and like writer representation in the industry is starting to come to light.
Yeah.
Because of like how many people they're starting to hire, like to do this stuff.
Absolutely.
And I'm super excited for it. I'm just worried because, like, you know, you were involved with Twilight.
Past
and I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, that being said, though, Jessica Jones in a Marvel story is such a great place to flex that creative muscle,
because it gives you like a very, there's
a lot to work with.
It's very down to earth.
Yeah,
like person who was super but now isn't. Yeah, I'm into it.
And you get so much to work with. I mean, like,
it's a very different perspective.
Yeah. And it's a good universe. It's Marvel. You know, who wouldn't want to be writing for Marvel? You know, there's a lot of stuff to write for in Marvel. They have great characters, interesting things going on. They're constantly updating. Their
superheroes are complicated.
They're complicated superheroes, and there's other things to
not
mix
that
them
DC
with.
isn't. We're not comparing this. We're just talking about Marvel in general.
Marvel in general. Either way, I mean, we'll be talking about it once. I'll probably binge watch the whole series the second it's live.
I will with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably.
We'll be here just binge watching it. Next up is going to be a bit of an Apple talk, real quick, about Apple TV and gaming. I wouldn't bring this up unless I had some reasons to.
I want you to tell me about this, because this is a topic that you insisted to.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really hear about this. So I have no idea what you're talking about, because I want you to explain this
pretty much
to me, and I'm going to react to this.
Yeah, understandably. And this is one of those, because I'm not a big Apple fan, so I guess I'll kind of talk about what they're doing. They did release the fact that they're doing iPhone 6S, which, who cares? More importantly, if you anything to care about with the 6S,
the sun rises and sets. You're gonna die. Death and taxes. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make a new iPhone. That's like
it's standard.
It's certain now.
The only thing about it that is interesting is it shoots 4K, which is very peculiar to hear. But that also means that like you're never gonna be able to export video or anything. You can never change file sizes. You're totally fucked. But still, shooting a mobile device that shoots 4K means that we're going to see more mobile devices that shoot 4K as time goes on, and more consumer 4K shooting products. But that's not important. What's important is we have Apple TV. Apple TV is the equivalent of like Chromecast, but there's going to be gaming involved in it. We're getting a remote that's a little more, and you say to it, and I would say to it, because we're not going to see like big
is this
game
like
titles.
Steam machines?
Think of it like Steam machines. But but
not with like a cool service attached to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the services I'm sure is gonna be fine, because everyone's already really into the App Store. I mean, there's quite a huge following with App Stores and apps.
I guess so.
All over the place. So here's where I am excited. Games like Pokemon Shuffle, which me and you have been playing a lot of, will be on this service, along with other new IPs and people they're bringing in to work on new games. Pokemon Shuffle being one of them. We may even see a Pokemon Go adaptation, and there are a lot of future gaming titles that might be coming to this Apple TV that might be worth checking out.
I just drank some tea that Kayman made for me, and I really like it.
Yeah, anytime. I'm good.
It's really good.
I'm a good tea maker.
Thanks, Kayman.
Anytime. Either way, Apple TV and gaming, there's quite a bit to offer there, and I think here's what I will say: I'm not sold to buy it. That's what I will say, but I am sold that it is good to see progress in the gaming community.
Like they're taking risks?
Yeah, they're taking risks with gaming. I like to see that. I want to see more of that. I think the best...
So it's like Ouya with a reliable company attached to it. That's what this is.
Exactly.
Because Ouya was a huge disappointment on many levels.
Many levels. And a lot of services like Ouya...
If Ouya had Apple attached to it, it probably would have been fine.
Well, and that's the thing, is like, there are so many services out there that are like this that have failed. And this is one of those things where I'm like, it's good to see this company taking a risk and moving forward. I'm not fully sold on it, but I am going to keep an eye on it. I am going to see where they go with it. And that's just kind of bringing that into play.
Okay.
Next up, tomorrow, Friday, 9/11. Great date.
What a great day for stuff to happen.
Will be the release of Super Mario Maker. Which... I'm pretty excited for because it's going to be a mod for Nintendo, and
it's basically Nintendo's Gary's Mod.
Exactly, and I grew up with Gary's Mod.
Nintendo's Little Big Planet.
That's a better way to put it. Yeah, Little Big Planet and Gary's Mod are both great games. I love them.
Well, I guess it would be more akin to Little Big Planet because it's not a FPS, and
yeah, it's not an FPS.
The creator tool is definitely similar to. Little Big Planet's creator tool.
Well, from what I've seen, the interface is similar to Little Big Planet, but the
variety's bigger because that's the game.
Exactly.
The game is create a thing,
and it's cool because you get a lot of different art styles. And here's what we've been playing: Hyrule Warriors a lot, me and you.
I love Hyrule Warriors.
Great game. One of the things about it is there's actually a lot of DLC on Hyrule Warriors.
Lots of really interesting
DLC. And that tells me that Mario Maker is probably also going to have some interesting, good, fun DLC that the fans are going to want to see.
Nintendo's actually
pretty good about
putting out some really good DLC.
That's worth the cost.
Like characters for Super Smash Bros. All really cool. Ryu and Mewtwo. Like, holy fuck, I'm into this.
And it doesn't...
Just get Professor Layton in there and I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It doesn't feel like it's DLC that was supposed to come with the game's launch. It feels like DLC that they were like...
that they worked on.
Yeah, and they were like...
They were like, yeah, let's do this now, that the game is finished.
Yeah, exactly, and I love that. I love seeing that, and I think Super Mario Maker is going to pave the way for some of that stuff. And in general, I think Nintendo's fan base is a fan base that has not been given a creator tool, and it is going to be so fucking amazing
to see what they do.
Little Big Planet brought that out in Sony, Gary's Mod brought that out in all PCers, and now we're going to see that with Nintendo people, and I'm super excited because there's so much for them to do, and I think Nintendo is going to do a great job of showcasing what their fans are going to make. And we are getting it tomorrow at launch at this household, so I will be playing tomorrow night and the next day. I'm super excited. Actually, just kidding, we're going to Houston, so I will not get to play it the opening weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll get to play when I get back from Houston. So we got some Mario Maker. Next up, interesting news in the Marvel world. Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
Yeah, Rogue Nation fame.
And she was what we have said to be one of the better parts of that film.
Yeah, probably the best part of that film.
Of the whole film. Is looking to possibly be cast as Captain Marvel.
I'm super into that. I'd still rather it be Katie Stackhoff. I'd still rather it be Starbuck. Yeah. Please, can we just be Starbuck? Because
she's so good.
Because freaking Carol Danvers is military.
Yeah,
she's an Air Force pilot, isn't she?
Yeah, she's. Yep.
And Starbuck.
It would be perfect.
But it writes itself. She just does it.
The mannerisms of Starbuck as
Carol Danvers
would be
perfect.
Very convincing.
I still really want to see that. I mean, of course, I totally get the argument. I
totally see Rebecca Ferguson too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that, but I totally get the argument that they kind of want a fresh face to do that. They don't want to just be like, look, it's Starbuck as Captain Marvel.
Exactly.
But like, I still want to see that. I still really want to see that, but I can see Rebecca Ferguson doing it too.
Yeah.
I can definitely see her in this role.
I think here's what I think of what's great about Captain Marvel in general. It is a role that it can be taken up in a lot of different ways with a lot of different directions acting wise, and no matter who plays her, I will be interested in seeing it.
Yeah.
Truly just to see what they do with this character and how they're going to introduce her into the Marvel Universe and what they're going to do with the Skrull and the Kree and all the things they're going to
Well, not Skrull. That's
Kree.
That's Fantastic Four.
But what will eventually later on for wars that they bring in and the Kree War and Skrull creatures that they're eventually going to have to talk about. Because that it is going to have to cross over at some point.
At some point, you're going to have to put in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because the thing
or Skrull somehow.
Skrull somehow. There's a lot, and especially with Doctor Strange and Dormammu and stuff that's going to be happening in that field, and there's so much going on in so many different areas. It'll just be cool to see how they are.
You got magical stuff happening.
You
got
alien,
war stuff happening.
You got all of it.
You got cosmic stuff happening. You got street stuff happening with the Defenders.
With the Defenders. Every level.
Every aspect of comic books is being covered by Marvel Studios.
They're killing it.
Right now.
They're killing it.
Well, not right now, but it's at least being developed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, you got mystical stuff with Doctor Strange. You got Cosmos with Captain Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Thanos.
You got
the
Thanos.
Infinity War.
You got a bunch of like war stuff going on with your standard like superhero superpower fare with Avengers and whatnot, which is fun, all super fun and dandy.
And then you got
that's going to come to a head in Civil War.
Can't wait to see.
And of course, Spider-Man is going to be introduced within that kind of stuff. And you got Marvel Street with Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, which is Ryan Philippe.
Really?
I learned recently.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Ryan Philippe is cast as Danny Rand.
Interesting. I'm very curious.
That we didn't even plan to talk about.
Well, there you go. I'm curious to see how he handles the stunt choreography.
I'm into it. I'm into this choice. He's got the chin for it. I can see him with the. Chin, I can see him with the.
Him and.
He's a good actor for one thing, and I can see him wearing the bandana.
Him and the guy who plays Matt Murdock. What's his face? Can't remember his name.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. Yeah, both have the chin. Both of them have a great chin for each character.
Yeah, you gotta have the chin.
Gotta have the chin.
You gotta have the chin,
especially if you're keeping.
Which is why I visually defend Ben Affleck
as Batman,
because he's got the chin.
Ben Affleck in general has a face for it. Like he really does.
Oh yeah, he does.
Perfect for it.
He actually did have a face for Matt Murdock.
He did.
Visually, he did.
He really did.
But they just couldn't back that up creatively.
Or writing wise.
But then they got Buffy writers and did it right, and now it's good.
And now it's great.
And now it's the best thing ever.
Oh, it's so good.
But Rebecca Ferguson. Best part about Rogue Nation. I'm not really sure that I liked her storyline all that much because of the whole is she on your side? Is she not on your side? I'm not sure if I liked it or not because there were times that I did like it and there were times that it was annoying to me as well.
Where I was like, can you please stop? Move.
Yeah. Just tell me whose side she's on. Yeah. It's not interesting anymore.
Exactly.
Give me some new. Give me some new information. Or tell me what side she's on. Don't just keep dicking around.
That's what Rogue Nation is entirely, though. Every character faces that flaw in Rogue Nation, where it's like, we don't know who you're really working. Is Tom Cruise crazy, or is he? But it's like,
give me more information if you're gonna do that. Yeah. Give me something to latch on to, something interesting, like Scream,
which we'll get into later. Either way, we'll see what
she's a good choice
and brings to Captain Marvel. Next up, we got Bourne 5 is currently in production and shooting, and they're bringing Matt Damon back into Bourne 5,
which makes me
curious.
Wonder why the fuck they even made that fourth one.
Yeah, why Jeremy Renner was brought in at all.
We need to make it was a we need to make money movie.
It was
it just piggybacked off the Bourne license, and
they're
not even going to bring Jeremy Renner's character back for this movie.
I wish they would.
I wish they would actually, because that would actually be kind of interesting for him to tie into that kind of
seeing a co-op
thing.
Matt Damon, Jeremy Renner Bourne movie. I would watch it.
I would definitely.
I would absolutely.
It might make the fourth movie worth seeing once.
Yeah, right.
I have not seen it because I don't want to.
I actually did see it. It was okay.
I have no drive to see it.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. It was okay. That's what I'll say about it. It wasn't too memorable besides certain moments.
I really liked the Bourne movies.
The ending was pretty cool because it included some. There are tidbits and sprinkles of the other franchise through it. It's really nice.
So it's the Scream 3 of the Bourne movies.
Basically, it's a Scream 3 of the Bourne
Except
movies.
It's the fourth one.
Except for it's the fourth one. I'd say the character's really interesting and it'd be cool to see more of him.
Yeah.
I would love to see...
what if there were more guys that went through the same things? Why not bring him back?
It'd be super cool.
We got Paul Greengrass. Damn it. Paul Greengrass is back doing Bourne.
Yeah.
And that's when it was at its best.
Oh, yeah.
Was Paul Greengrass.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, I believe we will of course have our choreographers who did John Wick
Hopefully they're back.
Hopefully.
We need that gun fu.
Yeah, we need some of that action again in there. Super good stuff to be checking out.
Oh my god, what if John Wick and Bourne take place in the same universe? Can that please happen?
Oh my god.
Can we have a John Wick and Bourne crossover?
They fight.
Yeah, I want that. I want John Wick versus Bourne.
I'd watch it.
I would watch that in a second. I don't even care if it's Paul Greengrass and those choreographers. I would John Wick versus Bourne. I would watch that in 2 days.
They hired John Wick to take him out because and so Wick's like, I got a contract, I got to do it.
I got to do it.
And then throughout the movie, they realize they have quite a few similarities, and they kind of like.
And then they grow up, and then they kill the Lex Luthor of the movie.
Yeah, they kill the Lex Luthor of the movie. Hell yeah, I'd watch it. Bad. Make it happen.
Make it, guys. That's a free one.
That's a free one. We gave that to you.
Or not a free one if you're willing to pay for that.
Yeah. So Bourne 5 will update us as soon as they give some more on that. So this is very interesting. Some Star Wars news, and this isn't too big of news, but I think it's going to be.
It's worth mentioning.
It's definitely worth mentioning. It is special 3D Real D glasses that they will be giving during the Star Wars screenings of Force Awakens.
They have 4 of them. They have BB-8,
yep,
which is the new droid, the ball droid, who looks super cute.
Super cute.
I'm getting more and more into how cute this droid is.
He's adorable. I just don't fully understand.
He seems like a cool addition to the family, though, like the droid family.
To the droid family, sure. Yeah,
and he's Rey's droid.
Yeah, which
he's I want them to establish that Rey built him, which is why he has a protocol droid head, but like a different body that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So it's like a model of her own design.
Well, an astromech droid head.
Yeah, an astromech droid head, but like everything else is her own design.
I mean, and again, it's
because she's a scavenger, so like that works.
I think it's going to be an interesting companion droid for sure, and it'll definitely bring some funness to the movie. I again just have a really weird feeling about the design of that droid, due to the fact that I'm like, what?
It's a ball.
It's a ball, I guess, and it doesn't really make sense how the head is connected completely, unless like
you're a scavenger. How is this useful to you?
Yeah.
What can BB-8 do for you?
A floating droid would have made a lot more sense.
I just want to know how they're going to establish the whole why he's a ball thing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Either way, he looks cute. And
is she a football fan?
It looks like a soccer ball with the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, it absolutely does. They
also have Kylo Ren. Captain Phasma, and
which is probably my favorite one.
That one looks awesome.
Yeah, the Captain Phasma one looks so cool, and then the Stormtrooper one also looks pretty cool.
Looks pretty badass.
We
saw that Stormtrooper poster recently, where I literally lost my shit.
It looks so cool.
It's like they have the whole like kind of Far Cry kind of splatter thing going off the new Stormtrooper design, and it's like this all white background, and he looks badass. I need that hanging in my room right now.
They're doing a lot of interesting art styles with the advertisement and marketing of this new Star Wars movie.
Everything looks cool.
It looks so cool, and it's always everything I see is also a little different too. Like some of it has.
It looks familiar but different.
Exactly,
and it fits with this whole thing that they're going for.
Yeah,
which is like because they're filming different. Yeah, they're filming with film. And they're building sets, and they're doing models and stuff, but they're also using CGI where they can.
Thank God they're doing practical.
Thank God they're doing practical. I think we've already mentioned this before, but like, if we haven't, thank Christ they're doing practical.
It's gonna sell. It's gonna sell
because that's gonna sell the personality.
So much
like finally, Star Wars is gonna have a soul again. I can see it on the screen. The soul, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before. But I think I have, because it's hard to tell like the difference between our general conversations and podcast stuff sometimes. But I remember mentioning to you that I love that the first shot in the trailer the first shot to the trailer the first trailer that we ever saw was a shot with nothing in it. Yeah. It was just sand. Just sand dunes. Yeah, and then and I'm like, I can get into this because like. There's nothing here. There's mystery. There's like, what's over there? What's happening? There's been an awakening? Wait, what? Where has there been an awakening? You got me, JJ. Where? And then Finn pops up, and you're like, oh shit, there's something there. Oh yeah. That's like, the nothing makes the something more special. Like when there's nothing and then there's something. That's how you make a movie.
It leaves you to wonder. You know, you have so much like what's going on, what's going to happen.
You don't just put something all the time. You got to have nothing to make something seem to make something better.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it'll...
Tasteful, subtlety.
Just being practical in general. And, like, when I think of things like Dagobah and Tatooine, and I see those in my head, those sets and pieces were just so... Dagobah in general, I don't think Dagobah gets enough love. It is so impressive.
It's really cool.
It's amazing.
I mean, yeah, they have, like, legit snakes just hanging around set. Like, snakes are Star Wars canon. Like, rattlesnakes or whatever. Like, cobras are Star Wars canon or whatever. It just does wonders for the atmosphere.
Yeah, it really does.
Like, that's a snake next to Mark Hamill.
Which, I mean, it does make sense because, like, if there are humans, then, like, why wouldn't there be, like, reptilian
it's cool.
things?
I get it.
Yeah, I can get behind it. Either way, I think those glasses are going to be collectors.
I want to get all of them.
Gotta get all
I'm going to see this movie. I mean, of course I'm going to see the movie, like, 4 or 5 times anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get all of these glasses.
I have to say, this is going to definitely be one of those situations where people are going to get these and sell them later.
Oh, yeah.
For lots of money.
Like, I was there and here's the glasses to prove it. Like, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, and just in general for collectors.
My dad kept the special 3D glasses thing that the Lego movie gave out.
Oh, really?
Like, there was a cool thing that you put, like, on... It didn't come, like, on the glasses, but you, like, put it on. It was, like, a thing that, like, fit onto your glasses, and it's actually pretty cool.
That sounds
it has, like, the characters and whatnot, and they're, like, yucking it up, whatever.
Like,
it's cool.
That's cool. I'm done. I mean, either way, collector's edition, all of it. I get behind getting it and checking it out. Next up on our stuff, we got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3 trailer. That's going to be... we just checked it out recently.
Still kind of vague.
Still
in the same ballpark as Jessica Jones of being vague, but we have a confirmed, like, alias for this electricity dude from the Inhuman group.
Yeah.
Sparkplug.
Yeah.
Which I'm into. I'm into that stuff. And they're setting up the Inhumans. There's no way that this is not going to lead to Black Bolt. They're not going to introduce a group of people called the Inhumans in a Marvel canon thing without realizing that there's a group called the Inhumans that are super important.
Well,
and also they have a movie slated later at the end of this phase called the Inhumans. So there's no way this is not going to connect to that.
Oh, for sure. And
it's ballsy that they're doing that now, which is cool.
Seeing these characters like Daisy, Skye, transitions through season 1, 2, and 3, you really can look at her and just set photos.
I like Skye way more now.
Yeah, she's been through so much.
Season 1, I was like, you're boring and nothing. And then, like, Season 2 happened.
Yeah.
Well, the end of Season 1 happened, and I'm like, okay, there's some more happening here.
Stuff going on.
Season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., until Hydra Plot. Hydra Plot was cool.
Hydra Plot was so cool.
Hydra Plot was really awesome. Good. It was a great way to establish what they were doing at the time of Winter Soldier. And Season 2 feels like 2 separate seasons, but in kind of a good way, because they both have very concise concise arcs.
The arcs. Yeah,
they have very concise story arcs, and they actually blend really well in the end,
super
too.
Super well.
Because you have the Inhumans. They're setting up the Inhumans, and Kyle MacLachlan's character, who's awesome! Yeah. I love that Kyle's coming back in a big way, that he's getting cast and things. I love Kyle MacLachlan. Seriously, one of my favorite actors of all time. I love Kyle MacLachlan.
I also love seeing...
And he kills it.
Oh, yeah. I also love seeing Deathlock.
Deathlock coming back. They keep bringing him back for stuff.
So, and of course, played by J. August Richards from Angel alumni, which I'm super into.
Yeah.
So he's a Joss Whedon alum, which gotta love.
Super cool.
Super great. And there's just so much to look forward to, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has always delivered new Marvel turnarounds. And always been
you get the Inhumans thing, which also leads into like the second sect of S.H.I.E.L.D. that's like investigating Coulson and how that ties into the Inhumans and stuff. And then you got Edward James Olmos being in the show.
He's gone now. I would have loved to see more of him. Either way, there's always something to look forward to in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as far as the Marvel Universe goes. I really feel like they do a great job of preparing us for whatever.
Well, now they are, because Season 2 was good.
Season 2 is great. I love Season 2. It was super well done. The ending of it, super solid, and the Season 3 trailer...
Hydra was also something that was very interesting.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Seeing, and right after the Captain America Winter Soldier movie, they really delivered on that. That was so cool. Just love seeing that turnaround. Either way, we'll definitely be checking that out and updating more as that goes on. This last topic we're going to bring up, which is really just a joke.
As soon as I saw this on Screen Rant News, I burst out laughing.
It's so funny.
I haven't reacted this this huge to like a reveal since Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Like, I laughed so hard. Not even harder than Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Yeah, because this is so to kind of
like visually as Lex Luthor. He might kill it in the movie. I don't know. I have to suspend my disbelief, of course. But like, this is insanely stupid. This thing that we're about to talk about.
So here's what we'll explain real quick. There is a guy named Tommy Wiseau, who, if y'all don't know him, he directed and wrote the movie The Room.
Oh, The Room.
Which is regarded as the worst piece of trash.
The Citizen Kane of bad movies. Truly.
It is a joke of a film. And if you haven't seen it, watch it.
A masterpiece in bad movies.
It truly is. I mean, they have screenings of this film and how horrible it is.
People wearing suits and throwing footballs.
Oh, so bad. So this guy, Tommy Wiseau, just the monarch of horrible films, he said that he wants to direct the second Fantastic Four film.
Couldn't make it any worse.
If the first remake wasn't bad enough, Tommy Wiseau directing this movie would really nail it into the ground.
You know what? I want them to do it.
Like,
I want them just go for it. Why not?
How bad could it
franchise? How bad can we go?
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Let's keep this a study in how bad we can fuck up a comic book movie.
I would die if Tommy Wiseau. I mean, I'd have to see it.
Victor Von Doom is not Victor Von Doom. Its Clobbering Time is now associated with child abuse. And now Tommy Wiseau directing the sequel.
Yeah,
how bad can you go?
No, it's awful. It's awful.
Oh, man.
Either way, so that's just something fun for everyone to chew on for our last little tidbit of topic.
This is hilarious.
Super hysterical. If that happens, we'll definitely be talking about it.
And the best thing about that is that they have a quote from Tommy Wiseau in the article, and he laughs. They put laughs in parentheses like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
and I can't help but imagine him going like, ha ha ha, with his weird, weird laugh.
His voice
what a funny story, Marvel.
No, he's so funny.
What a funny story.
He's a great guy to just listen to because of how he sounds. So that's going to be our topics.
Dang. It's so funny.
It's pretty great.
Oh, man. Okay.
So here's our what are up to. What are you currently up to, On?
I have been up to fucking, I don't know. I had to write down what I did because I haven't been doing all that much.
Oh, yeah, we've been busy this week.
We have all been working hard on Rule of Thirds stuff. And, and
episode 2 coming out next week?
Yeah. I've also been auditioning around for a few things, just generally. But I've been playing Payday 2 recently, a lot of Payday 2 with a friend of mine. And this game is super addicting. Like, I haven't been this addicted to a multiplayer game in a long time.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you how like a good team dynamic can go to how far
a good game, yeah.
Yeah, how far a good team dynamic can go to really sell your game, like Team Fortress and all that. Just Left 4 Dead, Payday 2.
Yeah.
Good team dynamics, really, really engrossing, and the upgrades are really cool. The DLC also really fun and on sale on Steam like all the time. Here's another thing: play this on PC. Don't play it on consoles. They refuse to patch and fix the console versions. Don't play the console versions. Agreed. They are absolutely inferior. And we'll talk about that later for one thing that Kayman's going to talk about that he's up to, which I know. But because he told me earlier, but it's hard for us to stop ourselves from mentioning certain things sometimes. But we'll revisit this topic of inferior console versions. Pokemon Shuffle. Fuck you for getting me into this.
Yeah.
This is taking over my life now. I need to get an S rank and I need to catch them all. It's such a simple addicting premise of a game, and with this cute little Pokemon aesthetic, great soundtrack, great cutesy visuals, and simple as hell gameplay. But I'm freaking sold, man. I'm into this.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's a super solid game. Everyone, I've turned it all on to a lot of people, and everyone's love it. And it's super enjoyable. I'm absolutely behind it. It's a great game to get behind. What else got going on?
I want to talk about a few games that have been circulating around recently, just like my perspective on them. There's one game that I'm super into, and the other one is Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a sidelines. I'm like the same thing with Kingdom Hearts. I'm so sidelines when it comes to Metal Gear Solid, because this franchise boggles my fucking mind. How complex this shit is. That guy's a clone of him, and he's his brother, who's also cloned from that guy, and who's also the president, who has nuked those guys, and that guy's a robot, and he's with that guy, and she's his sister, and she's working for the Patriots, and the Patriots are not the other guys, or not the Foxhound, or whatever.
Not the Fox. Yeah.
Or whatever, and it's just insane how complex that stuff is, and it's super intimidating to a newcomer like me who can't like find a copy of the first game on anything that is not a GameCube or a PS1.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like I have the HD versions of 2 and 3, like that were released for Xbox.
Yeah. And
I tried to play them, and I just felt like I had no fucking clue. Like I had fun.
Yeah.
Those games are super like awkward to me because like first of all, I was introduced to the series with Ground Zeroes, and which another friend I played with another friend because I was just over at his house and I beat it, of course, because it's an hour long. Like I didn't buy the game, of course, because it's a $30 demo. Why the hell would you support that?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Konami. But
no, that was some bullshit.
Absolutely, fuck you, Konami. And fuck you for Silent Hills. I'm not gonna not mention that. Fuck you for canceling one of the coolest looking games in existence.
Yeah.
I was way more excited for Silent Hills than I was for MGS5. Fuck you.
I was way more excited for Silent Hills than I've pretty much been excited for most fucking games to come out soon. Like, I was super stoked. We have Norman Reedus. We have Guillermo
del Toro, Kojima.
PT.
That's so cool.
Fun to play through. I loved it.
PT was if anything could have been the $30 demo, why didn't you make it PT? PT was way better than Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, just make it a little bit longer. I would have fucking bought it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. I would have bought that for $10 or $5. Yeah,
absolutely. Well worth.
I would have bought PT.
Well worth.
But like,
either way, yeah.
Like, Ground Zeroes was super fluid and it controlled really well. I mean, I had no idea what the hell was going on or who these people were.
Yeah.
But, like, it's just, like, the controls just didn't, like, when I going back to that top-down perspective, it just didn't feel right. I don't know if there's, like, too much of a... I might have ruined myself by introducing myself too late.
It'd be like someone playing Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, and then going back and playing 1.
Yeah, that's it.
And being like, whoa, what the fuck? Like,
that's exactly the thing.
That's it, yeah.
Except I feel like it's more drastic, because at least...
on some level it is, yeah, for sure.
At least 4 and 5 have the same kind of, like, ammo...
and item mechanic.
And the same kind of feel a little bit, at least regarding 4 and
and how you take care of your problems and enemies and stuff.
Yeah, whereas, like, Ground Zeroes and... Like Sons of Liberty and Ground Zeroes feel like almost two different games entirely.
They really do.
And it's insane. But, like, I know the game is good, and I know the gameplay is unbelievable. I mean, I've seen footage, and I've seen reviews, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and holy fuck, I could probably play this game forever.
I mean, that's the thing about it, is, like, Metal Gear Solid isn't a bad game.
Oh no, it's just such a weird mythos.
Story. Yeah,
this mythos is way too complex.
Way too complex, and I mean, if you beat when you beat 2, because I'm not going to spoil it, but when you beat 2, you will know the complexity of Metal Gear Solid, because you're literally going to be like, why does this game exist?
Well, it has something to do with the president being the brother of Snake or something.
It has bigger things to do than that.
Oh, really? Bigger things to do with the President of the United States being the brother being the brother of the clone of the greatest soldier of all time?
Yep. Just trust me. Once you beat 2, you'll be like...
Listen to that sentence!
Yeah, right? How
that
ridiculous
I just
is
said!
That? How ridiculous is that?
What
No,
the fuck?
It makes no sense. Either way, I mean, it's a complicated franchise. So, Metal Gear Solid, you've been checking that out.
The other game that I'm super into, which should be given props for competing with Metal Gear Solid at the same, week or month release date.
Yeah.
Holy crap, you're competing with Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to do this kind of thing? But it still manages to stand out and be unique and be its own really cool thing, and that is Until Dawn. This game, look, I've been watching a playthrough on my favorite YouTube channel. Shout out to Super Best Friends. They are fucking amazing. Check out everything they do. Literally, I watch all of their stuff. They consume way more of my life than they should, but they're amazing. And I'll probably talk about them more later. But I'm watching this playthrough, and I'm looking at all the stuff that has to do with this, the cast for this game.
Hayden Panettiere.
Hayden Panettiere. Brett Dalton. Agent Grant Ward.
Brett Dalton, yeah.
And his character, in the playthrough that I've been watching so far, turns out to be super cool.
I'm super excited to play it.
He's kicking ass, and Hayden Panettiere is super cute and super buffy and relatable, and all the other actors are killing it as well. And I'm just having it's choice-based horror.
Yeah.
How has nobody done this before? This is super interesting. It's got this super cool psychological aspect to it where you don't know, you're not exactly sure what plays into the butterfly effect and what doesn't. There's certain things that play into the butterfly effect of things that are going to affect the choices in the game and how characters see you and who's going to live and who's going to die. Because there's everyone lives and everyone dies, and then there's apparently people have said that there's 1,000 endings to this game, which Jesus. I don't believe, but I do believe that there are a lot of endings, depending on what you do and who survives. There's a shit ton of choices, and this really cool kind of subplot that kind of underlines the theme of choice and how it affects everyone, and this whole recurring thing of the butterfly effect with Peter Stormare's role in the whole psychiatric scenes, and how I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it for you, but Peter Stormare's scenes are way more important than you think they are.
Interesting.
At first, because at first you're like, oh, I'm going to see Peter, but then
Silent Hill.
Yeah, it's like Silent Hill Shattered Memories, but to the nth degree.
Interesting.
It's super cool.
Interesting.
This is choice-based horror films. I want to see more of this. Until Dawn 2, I'm super down for.
This is not Hayden Panettiere's first video game voice acting role. She actually...
Did she do...
She voices Kairi in Kingdom Hearts.
I was about to say Kingdom Hearts.
Yep, she's and she reoccurs, and she's awesome. She kills it. So that's either way really good to see her doing some more stuff.
But those are the things that I've been following and I've been into recently.
Yeah.
So, what are you into, Kayman?
Man, I've been extraordinarily busy. I've been working on
Rule of Thirds dropping September.
Next week. I've been working on it
15th, right?
Yeah, September 15th. Super excited. I've been working on a puzzle room, escape room kind of thing called 15 Lock. Super excited for.
Oh, that's really cool. That's
a lot
stuff.
of good stuff going on there. Other than that, I mean, I've just been catching up on more X-Files. I'm rewatching X-Files again. I'm on season 3.
I fuck David Duchovny right now.
Oh, he's great. He's so great.
They're like people talking about how hot Scully is, but David Duchovny though.
Yeah, David Duchovny is amazing. He's great in Californication too. I strongly suggest watching
that. Is another one.
Yeah, he's great in that. He's just an awesome actor all around.
That just confirms my fantasies. Californication.
Yeah. It's just great to rewatch this series and just to see the amount of writers who went through, because the thing about X-Files is so great. Besides the actors who went through it, the writers were constantly being switched throughout the whole series run, and they got so many interesting, talented writers to come into play. And if you haven't sat down and watched X-Files and you like sci-fi and good science material stories, watch the show.
I haven't watched as much of it as I probably should.
I'd say first 5-6 episodes gets you really hooked because you're just following the formula. It's really fun. It's very interesting. Besides that, just been keeping with the usual couple. Oh, you know what?
Do you want to talk about the puzzle room thing?
I'll talk about it in a second. I was actually going to bring up Shadows of Mordor real quick.
Oh, that's the Imperial console thing that we're gonna.
I was a huge fan of Lord of the Rings: War in the North. In fact,
I actually surprisingly like that game too.
It's
I got it in a Hummel bundle, and I I was playing it with a friend of mine who bought the same Humble Bundle,
Yeah.
and I had surprisingly a lot of fun with it.
Really fun game. The co-op on it is awesome.
It reminded me of the PS2 Lord of the Rings games in a very good way.
Yep, agreed. In fact, that's exactly why I like War in the North, because it reminded me of those games.
And it also explains the Eagles.
And it explains the Eagles.
It explains why the Eagles aren't there to save everyone in that movie, because they're too busy getting fucking captured. That's why. Because Sauron knew.
Yeah.
So I hope this is canon, because that totally explains a huge plot hole.
I don't know, actually. I'd have to
I hope it's canon. I wouldn't mind if it's canon. It's not bad.
So. But I picked up Shadows of Mordor, and I made a mistake of playing it on the PS3, which was a bad choice on my part. But I didn't know. I had no idea, because I've been playing PS4 for quite some time. And on the PS4 version, it's one of those things where, usually the PS4 games, it's beautiful and phenomenal. The graphics look great. But man, Shadow of Mordor on the PS3 is a joke. Graphically, it's just terrible.
No Nemesis system, too. The best thing about the game is not in the console version.
Exactly.
Or the last-gen console version.
Exactly.
Like, the whole hook, the whole movers and shakers of the realm of Mordor just doesn't exist.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it was one of those things when I was playing it, and I'm pretty sure Shadows of Mordor, not a bad game, but I was appalled at the fact that them putting it on a last-gen console didn't have enough detail behind it, and it makes me worried about those games that have been coming out on the PS3 that I haven't been buying, because I'm like, why would I
they canceled the MKX, Mortal Kombat X ports to... I believe they canceled the ports to last-gen.
Really?
Because of how shitty they were.
Good. That makes sense. That's understandable.
And I totally respect NetherRealms for doing that.
Agreed. And I think that was such an interesting thing to take a look at, to be... Especially because if you spend the money on the title, it better work, And there were so many moments where I was like, this is glitching out so bad, and like this looks so awfully rendered, and like what is going on here? And it truly was mind-boggling. The combat was too like heavy; it just didn't feel good at all.
Disclaimer: that's Trey in the background.
Yeah, we got. Yeah, he's doing his grocery thing.
Yeah, he's doing it.
So, but yeah, no. Either way, you just. What was a little disappointed by what I saw, but I'm definitely going to be picking it up on a next gen just so I can see what it plays as.
It's my first exposure to this was playing on my friend Alex's kick-ass PC.
Yeah,
and I had a freaking blast with the game.
Yeah,
it's actually very, very, very impressive.
Yeah,
and the Nemesis system is not just a cheap hook; it will keep you playing this game far longer than you would initially expect.
Yeah.
Because of how, complex it actually is, and how fun it is to manipulate Mordor in that way.
That's what I want to play. That's what I want to do. I want to do that thing. I want to manipulate Mordor. I want
Can't do it though.
That. Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. Either way, so that's kind of what I got to play. The puzzle rooms were really fun because they're these escape puzzle rooms.
This is like a company.
Yeah, it's a company called 15 Locks. There's a lot of escape rooms here in Austin, and one of the things I do on the side is I own this company called Archaic Media, which Archaic Entertainment hosts our podcast, and go around and advertise for different companies. And one of them is for this puzzle group called 15 Locks, where they made 3 different puzzles, and you have to escape them, finding out. 15.
So you go into explain this to me. You go into a building. And you say you pay the thing, pay for to get in, and then you get immersed in this puzzle world.
Yeah. Well, and so the rooms,
so it's like Professor Layton in real life.
But exactly. And the rooms are settings. One of them, great one that we did the first day of shooting, was a manor, where it's this old timey study based in the 1700s, and the people who are working on this are theater set majors and theater tech kids. And they build the sets, and it looks very believable, and you have to solve the puzzle in the dark, and it's spooky, scary, and we have some ghost stuff going on, and a lot of really fun clues. And then there's one that's kind of aperture science-y from Portal.
Some of the actors you were showing me some of the footage you shot. Some of them really killing it. My favorite, Elric.
Elric, yeah, really cool, really
cool.
Oh,
that's super cool.
He's super deep voice.
Super deep, lordy voice.
Very Do you want help on your puzzle?
Oh yeah, very cool.
My name is Elric.
Which is a badass name.
If there's
a movie with a guy named Elric in it, I'm just going to watch that movie right now.
Absolutely. So great thing to check out. 15 Locks, good fun stuff. So that's what I've been doing. We're gonna go ahead and move over to our review, our centerpiece, our fun times for Scream, Wes Craven, of course. And before we get super involved in it, you know, for me, this was like this 15th time I've watched this film. I grew up watching it, Scream 1 through 4, a huge fan. For Owen, this is your first time watching it.
My first time watching it. This is we broke the rule of us not watching the movie before.
Yeah.
In this case, in honor of Wes Craven dying.
Yeah.
We're going to start doing a lot of horror movies recently. That's going to be what we're doing until the end of October.
Yep.
And we decided our next movies are going to go by subgenres in horror.
Yeah.
We're going to try to outline that out, like slasher film and psychological and paranormal.
Anthology.
Comedy horror.
Yeah.
I have a good one picked out for comedy horror.
Ooh, super excited.
But that isn't Cabin in the Woods, surprisingly. But we felt that in honor of horror icon Wes Craven,
Got to start here.
we have to start with Scream.
Absolutely.
We'll probably break the rule again if somebody else dies that we want to honor. Like if we were doing the podcast at the time that Robin Williams died, we definitely would have done one of his movies. Like absolutely done a Robin Williams movie.
That makes sense. I no understand. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, and for good reason. You know, these are people who make great films. Robin Williams, of course, and then Wes Craven. This is a film to start your October off with whenever you get a chance.
We watched Scream 1 and 2 the same night. Scream 1, disclaimer, was so good, or spoiler alert, so good. We're gonna gush about these movies that I was like, let's just watch 2.
Yeah.
Screw it. Let's watch 2. We're going to be reviewing the first one. I'm going to give a rating for both, but we're going to mainly be talking about the first one.
Yeah.
But
we watched both.
We watched both.
Because Owen loved it so much. And understandably, they were just so good. So we're going to get started where we always get started. And my favorite place to get started, the writing, of course.
The writing in this film is so unbelievably creative. In the way that it sets up its main villain being Ghostface.
Yeah.
The way that characters talk, the way that information is conveyed. Like they play. Not only do they play on horror cliches, they modernize them. They invent new ones.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing how just deep it'll go.
Yeah,
like
no,
the writing.
Especially, I mean, and one of the things that's great about this is it's one of those situations where it's not just writing a horror film, but writing a good story. You truly feel like there's complexity to these characters, there's complexities to how they were written, and every time it's written a certain way, you're like, oh, this makes me believe this guy is the killer 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah.
And immediately...
It's like, the reason that this works, the reason that Ghostface as a villain works, because, like, you know, he's not some unstoppable, like killing machine like Michael Myers or Freddy, or... It's a dude in a dollar store Halloween costume.
Yeah, exactly.
And they established this early on, because that is such a huge, a very important detail, because... They then go on to establish that everyone is a suspect.
Every single person.
Almost every single person in this movie is a suspect. And you will be flitting back and forth.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you, because I did this. And Kayman also did this.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
when I first watched it, I was like, who the hell could this possibly be?
Like, we multiple times were like, it's that guy, or it's that guy, or it's that guy. Like, or that girl, or...
It's just great, because I heard you audibly, like, being like, oh, my money's on him. My money's on him. Of course, you know, if you've seen the movie, it's one of those situations where, you know, that little irony going on.
And I got it super wrong as well.
But what's great is, that was actually my guess as well when I first watched the film. I thought it was that character, too. And the movie is great at doing that. It provides the evidence it needs to.
The red herrings make Ghostface so much more intimidating.
Absolutely.
Because it just seems like he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Because he could be anyone.
Exactly.
And he has a very good, like, environmental awareness of what he's doing. Like, he uses the environment to his advantage, and also he gets his ass kicked by the environment. I love that he gets his ass handed to him
so many times,
because it goes as far to establish how this is real life.
Yeah.
This is realistic. This is a movie about real life.
Yeah. And they say that this is one of the tips that they kind of give you writing-wise. Growing was one of the very first tips I learned, and Scream exhibits this A+ ranking, is your setting has to be believable. And that's what this movie does. This movie says, okay, we're gonna create like this fictional like horror like guy going around slasher killer kind of thing, and we have to illusion you to make you believe that this is real life. And they do it with their meta and their ridiculous amounts
of... The meta gets even better. The reason that Scream 2 is better than Scream 1 is because the meta gets... Not only that, but the main characters in 2 are also a little bit more compelling.
Yeah.
But the meta in the sequel is unbelievably good. The opening scene in the sequel is one of the best opening scenes I've seen for any movie ever.
It's really good.
And it sets up, it's like how, it sets such a high bar of quality. Yeah. I'm like, how are you going to keep this level of quality? And then it fucking does.
Yep.
It stays that good.
Oh, yeah.
And Scream 1 also does the same thing. Not as good of an opening scene, but also
still a really good opening scene.
Killer of an opening scene, if you'll pardon the pun. But... Like, Drew Barrymore killing it in the opening scene. Lots of great camera work following her through the house. Well, we'll get to the camera work later, but
in general,
just
as the cold opens go, as opening scenes go, Scream 1 and 2 kill it. Scream 1, amazing with their opening. And again, it's that writing, giving you a good cold open to what this movie's going to be about.
And keeping you on edge.
Keeping you on edge and making you go, wow, I'm super invested already. And you've only... And you said it, there was one point where you're like, man, it's only been like 3 minutes and there's been like barely any dialogue, but I know so much about every single one of these characters.
There was one scene where it's like...
Where
they barely say anything. They introduced Dewey and Sydney's relationship to Dewey.
Yeah.
And they barely say anything... but so much about her dad and how she knows Dewey and how they both know her dad and how they're past together. They they have like 5 lines of dialogue in this one scene, and it's amazing. And I'm like, I know so much.
Yeah.
Now,
and
I know so much.
That's that writing excelling with believable dialogue and a believable setting. And
the only 2 characters that you don't... Okay, 3 characters that you don't think are the killer are Sydney, Dewey, and Gale.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, and they kind of
joke around. They're all amazing.
Yeah, and they joke around with that at certain
points.
They
do kind of joke around with that, but those are the only characters that for sure are like, they establish for multiple reasons are not the killer.
It's funny because there's one moment in Scream 1 where they try to convince you the principal's the killer. You remember when it starts and he has the mask on his face?
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
He's like, oh!
And he's like, oh! And then he's like, no, it's stupid. And we find out, of course, he gets his ass handed to him.
Henry Winkler getting bodied.
Winkler. Great to see Henry Winkler.
Great kind of, I don't want to say because he really was kind of a cameo in a way.
Yeah, he really was. But writing A+. Camera work.
Absolutely A+.
Yeah.
Camera work.
Still really good. Amazing.
Stellar.
Yeah, stellar.
The way that it keeps you, again, keeping you on edge, made me super paranoid of anything that looked like a cloak.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that looked like a cloak, I'm like, that's fucking him right there.
Great job.
Especially at, nighttime.
Oh, yeah.
The way that they would frame the killer in certain shots, not only sometimes would be terrifying, and other times would be hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
There was one that I'm thinking about where I turned over to you, and I was like, the only thing that would have made that reveal of the killer being there better would have been jazz hands. Ta-da! It's me!
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't have even been upset because, Ghostface is that kind of killer. He's yucking it up, and he kills people and he loves it.
The framing, and what's great about this movie is not just the framing of the actors themselves and the characters, but the framing of the objects they're working with is always really solid.
The phone.
The phone and the TV as well. There's a point where in the beginning, the girl who's being attacked, Drew Barrymore's character, is behind a television set. And the TV is on with that blue glow, and she's on the phone, but the rest of the house is dark. And just that composition of frame right there. They say every frame you should have should be...
and the horror movie that's playing on the TV later.
Yeah.
Well, not that TV, but another TV.
Yeah, another TV. Is one of those things where they teach you that every frame you have should be a painting. And should be as good to be a painting. And this movie does that. It's what I would say... modern day, if you painted that for me and I looked at it like a modern, I would totally fucking buy that. I'd be like, that looks so cool. The framing of that's so nice.
Every frame of painting.
Yeah, and
they use a camera in this movie in a very creative way as well.
The 30-second delay.
Camera.
The 30-second
with
delay.
The 30-second delay.
So cool. Such
a great idea. That was if they don't use that, I'm going to be super pissed. And then, of course they use it because they're smart.
Yeah.
And
a genius way, too.
Super, super good payoff
They
for that.
They have a cameraman who puts up a camera in the house that all this is happening in to kind of give you that paranormal activity feel, but of course way before then. And this camera, though, because, it was a little earlier in our time, technology-wise, has a 30-second delay, feed-wise, to the van. So the people in the van who are watching what's going on in the house are getting 30 seconds later, or 30 seconds earlier. So they utilize that in some really cool ways. And
30 seconds later.
Yeah.
Future.
30 seconds past. And, I mean, again, camera work, cinematography, just like the writing, A+. Shines. It's very interesting. You get pulled in with those follow-through shots. All the follow-one takes are impressively done. And even the still shots are just so solid. The school stuff, the outside stuff, they do a great job with lighting, too. It's just all around great cinematography. Editing. Music in this film, really well played.
Music, sound design.
Sound design is super well done.
Good,
Foley,
red herrings as far as like the killer could literally be anywhere around you.
Oh yeah,
again that spatial awareness that Ghostface has. Like he has a plan.
Oh yeah, and
he's
he knows
here.
his environment.
He could be anyone, and he has a plan, and he knows his environment like the back of his hand.
Even a setting as small as a news van was utilized in such interesting ways, with the escaping from the underneath door, and then him being on top of the roof, and then like
even the car where he's like unlocking the car doors.
And then he unlocks the back car door, and it opens slowly, and you don't even hear it, but you see it.
It's sometimes it's just the absence of sound too.
And again, it's the editing shining with the cinematography, with the writing. Seriously, I can't stress this enough. This is one of the movies,
the soundtrack as well. This soundtrack is
really good.
Super purchase
really
worthy.
Good.
There were multiple moments where I turned to Kayman and I'm like, I'm super into I'm jamming to this music right now. It's really super good. I'm into this.
This is one of those movies where every category for me is A+.
Absolutely A+.
Because this movie wouldn't be nearly as good as if every department wasn't coming
wasn't just the nth degree.
Yeah, it
just
really
killing it.
Really. So there's a lot. I mean, even looking at the cold open and the slash into the front title to kind of give you like
great title.
This is what this is. This movie is a slasher. This movie is gonna be crazy.
But we're gonna fuck with you at the same time.
Yeah, we're gonna psychologically
like challenge everything you know about slasher movies.
And the final scenes of Scream is notorious for great final scenes. The final scene of 1, so well done. The editing in that
very well done.
Really solid. Just the chasing throughout the house. Some of the murders are really great, of course.
Very creative.
Very creative.
And that is another thing that only gets better in the second one.
Only gets better in the second one.
Better monologue at the end. Better killer monologue as well. And also wide variety creative kills.
Yeah.
Better, higher body count and better kills in the second one as well.
Something to even bring up, I kind of left a little bit out in the writing wise, is the movies are so well connected. There's a
planned trilogy.
A truly.
There's a character that's introduced in the first movie.
Barely.
Just like one. There's like you'll see him for like literally almost like 1 or 2 seconds. But, like, he's super important. He's a super important plot point that they will keep bringing up.
Yeah.
And then in the second movie, he becomes a character, and you're like, oh, no! Yeah. That guy!
Exactly. And he already has such weight to him because he's framed for killing Sydney's mom. And in the first movie, you're like, oh, wow, that's such an interesting plot point. Like, what if he really didn't kill Sydney's mother? And then they bring him in Scream 2, and you're like, oh, my God.
They introduce him with the interview in Scream 2.
And it's so interesting.
Like, oh, my God, he's back. Oh my God, he's back.
And immediately you have
you're like, suspect.
So interesting. In general, just another little thing I want to talk about writing-wise. But bringing us to our another great point, acting. There's so many great performances in this.
Absolutely.
Courtney Cox, Gail Weathers is amazing.
Killing it.
Amazing.
Absolutely killing it.
Amazing. She is so good. I mean, she really brings this, cold-hearted reporter who is so close to, like, finding something with Dewey's character that like towards the end you're like, oh man, maybe she's not like just in this for the glory and fame, and she has those moments where
maybe she's starting to care about these people.
Yeah, and then there's also this great moment where, because Scream is one of those franchises that
I give a shit about these characters.
You give a shit about every single one of those characters.
I give a shit about Dewey. I give a shit about Dale. I give a shit about Sydney.
You really do. Sidney Prescott, such an interesting character.
I give a shit about Randy, about Billy, about all these people.
Randy, played by Jamie Kennedy, who great delivery. There's a scene.
There's a super meta moment where he's watching Hellraiser, and Jamie Lee Curtis is the lead of that film, and he's like, and the killer's behind him.
Oh, no, and he's saying his name too.
Yeah, turn around, Jamie. Turn around, Jamie.
Exactly, and it's so great. They have a lot of good moments like that. And it's not just the characters writing; it is a lot also with the acting. They deliver it. I mean, you feel Gale Weathers' character, and that only gets better in Scream 2. You know, Gale Weathers only gets more believable, and her character only has a bigger arc in Scream 2. And either way, the acting is phenomenal performances. Sidney Prescott, phenomenal. And it doesn't just do the whole, we're going to do the female heroine, because there's a point at the end where it's like, crap, how is she going to get out of this? And then, bam, Gale Weathers comes in. And I don't know if you remember that, but she kind of comes in and saves the day for a second. And it's like, and she's like, yeah, you forgot about me. Let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story I'm going to report to, like all this.
Sid also steps up too.
Yeah,
she steps up to the plate. She starts fucking with the killers a little bit.
Oh yeah, great stuff. And it's one of those scenes where, it's not the typical, like, just female heroine thing. It's like, hey, you forgot these characters have so much more to them, and you're surprised and delightfully surprised by the performances given in these characters as well, because you just feel so strongly attached to them. So, A+ on the acting. Truly A+ on the acting.
The killer's like, what am I going to do?
Oh, and
the killer doesn't know how to react to these characters. Like,
how could I...
Like, at the end, where all the stakes are super, super high,
yeah,
like, the killer is just like, oh my god, these guys are bringing it way too hard.
And how could I not...
Like, these characters are super badass, and they're never down. Nobody's ever down for the count.
No, never.
Even if you see... And I also love this about Scream 1 and 2. Even if you see the killer in the vicinity of a person, it still doesn't discredit them.
Yeah, no, right? There's still
They still give you little red herrings and things, and including the whole thing about the dollar store costume and people running around and playing practical jokes in the school. Even if you see the killer next to somebody, it still, like, could be that person for, like, multiple reasons.
Oh, yeah.
And that only gets better in the second movie. Another thing. That red herring becomes super huge.
I mean, that's the other great thing about it, is it does this thing where it's like, here are the rules, and you're like, okay, those are the rules, and it's like, but are we going to break those rules? And it keeps tricking you, and you're like, you broke the rule, and it's like, you think we did. And
no, we didn't break the rule, and here's why.
And here's why, exactly, precisely. A lot of, I can't forget to mention Skeet Ulrich, who plays the boyfriend, who plays Billy, Sydney's boyfriend. He's amazing. He delivers a great performance as well.
He's the Johnny Depp kind of lookalike.
Yeah.
Also, like, you feel that, you feel that kind of Johnny Depp boyfriend role.
Absolutely. He's phenomenal in it.
He plays that stereotype and he runs with it. Also, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, right, killing it.
Yeah, also did a great job.
The Scooby-Doo live action, what is his name?
Series. His name, I believe, what is his name? Is it Kevin Patrick Wallace? No.
It's we're looking at IMDb right now.
Yeah, we're pulling this one up because I don't remember his name.
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard, right.
Killing it.
Yeah, amazing. He did a phenomenal
Neve Campbell, also killing it as Sydney.
Yeah.
Just great all around. And Dewey. I love Dewey.
Yeah, Dewey's super. He's so lovable. He's such a goof.
Like the dopey Barney Fife cop.
Oozes with arrogance. Oozes with ignorance. Great line.
Not arrogance, like
ignorance. Yeah, great line in the second film that they use.
But like, you still feel that he has like a capability to him, but capability and vulnerability to him.
Yeah.
Where you're rooting for him, but you're also afraid for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're like, you're in over your head here, buddy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you still want him to be around.
Yeah.
Because he's a useful character, and also he's a cop. He
gets better. He learns.
And he really steps up to the plate too.
In 2, he steps up to the plate hard as well.
Oh, in 2, yeah, definitely. Also in the first one, but definitely in 2.
Definitely do. Yeah, he comes back, and especially with how much he lashes out at Courtney Cox's character in the beginning of 2, kind of being like, "Man, you didn't change, did you?" And we have that moment where she really has a transitional character, and it wouldn't be as believable if it wasn't Courtney Cox delivering that performance. Honestly,
she's great.
She's phenomenal. Of course, at the end of the day, we're gonna talk about the main big part of this, our conclusion, which is the directing.
Wes Craven, you brilliant motherfucker.
I mean, it's why I said it on the last podcast. It was so sad to hear the news of him passing, because this goes to show what someone can bring to the table creative wise. When someone says, "Hey, we've been doing this horror genre for so long, it has gotten so stale. how can we make
time
it refreshing?
to challenge this.
Yeah, let's challenge the rules. Let's see how much the audience knows. And he jokes about it. The killer has quizzes for the victim.
They really they go to the nth degree with the whole real life compared to movies thing.
Yeah.
And it never feels out of place.
Never.
It feels very, very relevant because how important movie culture is to the Scream movies.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it's great to see Wes drop those lovely jewels of Freddy Krueger in there as well.
Because, I mean, of course, people would look to horror movies.
Yeah.
To kind of explain what's happening now. When what's happening to you seems like a horror movie,
yeah.
you're gonna mention a horror movie.
Well, and there's a great line that specifically talks about that. Remember, at the end of Scream 1, they're having the talk between her and her boyfriend, Sidney Prescott's boyfriend, Billy, and
you don't get to pick your genre.
Yeah, you don't get to pick your genre. And she's like, this isn't a movie, and he's like, no, this absolutely is a movie, but you don't get to pick your genre of movie. And of course, follows with them having their little romance scene. And it really makes you believe that. It's like, crap, this is real life. This isn't a movie. It distances you from the fact of this being a story.
Also, there's also little details that set up that the Pulitzer line you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, the Pulitzer line is a great line for that. Courtney Cox's character, Gail Weathers, is like, man, has a reporter ever won a Pulitzer? And the reason that's so interesting is
like
because...
a low kind of like small town.
Yeah, and she says it because she's specifically talking about the fact
yeah.
that she's reporting about this story. And this is one of those situations where it's like, if this story happened in real life and someone reported it, hell yeah, they would be famous. This is crazy. Like, the things that happen in this are so...
And Scream 2. Totally happens.
And it happens. She wins and it makes it real. Because it's one of those things where it's like, you don't have to suspend your disbelief. You can believe that all of this is happening. That this small town is dealing with this issue. And in the second one, they have an anniversary for it, basically, They have a movie, Stab the Film, that is literally...
Oh my god, Stab is one of the best plot points into...
It's so good. And but to kind of conclude why the directing is so phenomenal in this, is because in Scream 2, they start off in the beginning with a scene in a theater watching the first scene of Stab, which is the first scene of Scream, and you're like, this is so meta.
And the first scene of Scream is how it would have been done if it was a shitty movie.
If
it was a Hollywood film, like a quote-unquote normal, like, Hollywood horror movie, This is how it would have done if we didn't do it knowing knowing how to challenge the boundaries of the genre.
Yeah. It was literally like Wes Craven had to be like, all right, I'm going to make a good horror film, and then I'm also going to make a shitty horror film inside my good horror film to show you that this is not a horror film.
And it's super, super meta.
It's very meta, it's very believable, it's amazing, and it
goes as far to establish this real-life aesthetic to the film.
Which, of course, is bringing us to our final review of it, and I'm gonna say this before I give my rating on it, and why I'm going to give it the rating I give it. Scream 1 gives you a mystery, and then solves it with an equally interesting delivery. The mystery of it is super. You're constantly questioning yourself. You remember you were like, crap, who is it? And then the delivery of who it is just as rewarding and just as satisfying as the mouth-savoring mystery that leads up to the film. And the way they deliver it...
doesn't Stephen King it.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't Stephen King it. It doesn't M. Night Shyamalan it. It truly is a good twist. It is unexpected.
And in 2.
You
think they won't get you again, but they do.
They do get you again, and that's why I'm going to say Scream 1 is a 10. It's a perfect film for me. It gives you a mystery. It says, am I going to trick you? Am I going to give you a story you're going to get invested in? Are you going to love these characters? Yes, I am. Yes, I'm going to get invested. Yes, you're going to trick me. And yes, the payoff is worth it.
So 10 for 2 as well?
I'm going to say my only thing for 2. This is my only thing for 2. 2, I'm going to be given a 9 only for one reason. Because the ending of 2, while is a great character reveal, I did not have as strong as a connection with because the person wasn't as prevalent in 1. If you kind of see what I'm saying.
I kind of get what you're saying.
Where 1 not only set up the rules, but if you take it from a standpoint of like timeline-wise, like beginning of 1 to end of 1, you are given all the information you need as soon as the movie starts. You know what I mean?
I'm going to disagree and say, I'm going to flip that. I'm going to say Scream is the 9 and Scream 2 is the 10.
And I figured.
But like, the Scream, they're both perfect films.
They're both amazing films.
In my opinion. I have
watch
little
these.
To no problem with them at all.
Yeah.
But like, my only problem with Scream 1 is that it doesn't go to the heights of Scream 2. Scream 2 just takes it to 11. Like, the meta gets huge. The characters become even more... Like, the returning characters from 1 become even more lovable.
Oh, yeah.
You come to hate this killer. Not only because he has the audacity to come back, but that he... Certain things that he does and certain people that he kills.
Who you have grown so
he or she kills.
Yeah. That you have... and these characters who have already grown really connected with. And it really, like, it raises the stakes, for sure. And this is why...
You just come to hate... You come to hate the killer more in Scream 2. And the payoff, I think, for me, is... Even though you have a very good point with the reveal, that hate just kept me going.
Oh, yeah.
And that reveal had packed a huge amount of punch because of that hate that I had for the killer.
I think the reason that your 2 is a 10 and my 1 is a 10 is because I grew up with 1 and I saw it in theaters, and 1 was one of those movies where 2 couldn't have been, and we've said this before, we specifically talked about this, 2 couldn't have been as good as if it wasn't for 1. You know what I mean? Like, 1 sets the rules.
It pulled a Korra.
It pulled the Legend of Korra Avatar.
Because I know that I'm probably in the minority here, but I'm gonna put this out there. I like Korra more than I do Last Airbender.
Me too.
But for reasons that are established in Last Airbender.
Exactly.
Because I fully realize that Korra wouldn't be nearly as good as it is or gets.
Yeah.
Without Last Airbender being a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, like, they're both, like, Last Airbender's a 9, Korra's a 10.
Exactly, precisely.
But, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, so that's going to be our ratings on those, and y'all got an extra one there for free for Scream 2. And just watch these movies. They're great.
Watch these movies.
They're great. Watch Wes Craven in general.
Good.
Have a great time. Don't watch Cursed.
Don't watch Cursed.
There's some Wes Craven films to stay away from.
Don't watch Hills Have Eyes Part 2.
Yeah. One
is okay.
There's some Wes Craven films to stay away from, but the Scream and Nightmare on Elm Street franchise...
More than make up for it.
Seriously, these are great films. But that's going to be our review.
Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie?
Owen texted me that this morning, and I told him my response was Avatar: The Last Airbender live action.
I was like, too scary.
That's my favorite scary film of all time.
You should be the killer.
But for the rest of this week's podcast for the coming up month, we're going to be doing horror films. So get excited, and Rule of Thirds is dropping next week, September 15th, and look out for some more stuff we got on the way. So I've been Kayman Coons.
I've been Owen Ziegler.
And y'all have a great day.
Bye, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.